Prologue. I found a few things with online dating. Number one, like one of my all-time favorite TV shows, Franklin and Bash, it's best to be unconventional. And number two, I'm way better online than I am in person. So this is the evolution of online dating for me. Stage one, 1 year BC, before computer. I'm in the summer of 7th and 8th, between 7th and 8th grade. I've only kissed one girl in my life, and I assume it's the only girl that's ever gonna kiss me, and I'm basically in love with her. So what I decided to do is figure out, how am I gonna get in touch with this girl? There's no internet. The only girl that I've ever fell in love with on the computer is typing tutor Mavis Beacon. So what I decide to do is look up her number in the phone book. And when I do that, I realize that I'm too nervous to call her on the phone. So I look at her address, and I think of a plan in my mind, and I put on my jean shorts, and I strap on my rollerblades, and I decide that I'm gonna wheel past her house. Now, I figured I would do it casually, but the thing is, I kind of look like Frankenstein, like just off the operating table on rollerblades, and I'm wheeling up there, and she ends up being outside, but her hill is sloping downward, and she's there with like all the neighborhood kids that she's babysitting, and I noticed simultaneously two things. One, that she has legs, and two, that I like legs. And I kind of try to wave at her, but it doesn't really work, as I trip kind of on the concrete that's a little bit messed up in Northeast Philly, but she thankfully had it scattered all of the kids over to the side. And, you know, this particular encounter didn't work out for me, but the next year, this is stage two, my parents, my family, got this thing for Christmas called America Online. And I realized I could reinvent myself on America Online. So I took the screen name Buffman116, and I met this girl via the internet and via some friends, and I chatted her up, and I found that I was pretty good on instant messenger and away message, and I took her to a carnival, but like Icarus, I kind of flew too close to the top of the carnival, and I took her on this ride. I had eaten too much, and what happened was I kissed her, and I threw up a little bit in her mouth. But I had picked up some skills, so I tried to kind of suck back in what I had thrown up into her mouth. Again, I was much better online than I was in person. The next year, stage three, the phone rings in my house, and my mother says some words I never heard in this particular order. Steve, there's a girl on the phone for you. So I put the phone to my ear, and I'm sure my mom was still listening, and I was proud of myself at this point. And she said, "Would you like to go to this dance with me?" And I said, "Of course I would." And she sighed in relief and said, "Well, thank goodness. You know, I got your name from screen name Crazy Nut 11, and I had asked 3 other guys, but you're the first one that said yes." And I hope that my mom put the phone down at that point. But I was at a point where I was like, you know, I'll take what I can get. So I went to the dance with her. But later that year, I had gained some confidence, and I instant messaged another girl who, at the time, kind of looked like Drew Barrymore. And at the time, I kind of looked like Canadian comedian Tom Green. And if you remember, they were dating at the time. So I brought this up to her, and we dated, and our relationship lasted about as long as Tom Green's career. She ended up with Crazy Nut 11. Stage 4, Facebook comes to my college, and I didn't really find any dates on Facebook, I think because of my face. So stage 5, I'm out of college, and I'm living with my parents because life, and I sign up for Match.com and Yahoo Singles, and this is my first Match.com profile. This is how I describe myself. I'd been coaching girls basketball in middle school at the time. And so this is the way that I pictured myself. If you remember, he wasn't that famous back then, so don't judge me too harshly. I said, I'm like Ryan Gosling in the movie Half Nelson, minus the cocaine addiction, LOL. And I didn't get too many dates that way. So stage 6, I met a girl on OkCupid, and she was a beautiful girl, and we went out to this place called McGillin's in Center City, and I met up with her and her friends, and I was trying to be chivalrous because some of the girls on OkCupid said that chivalry is dead. So I decided that I would pick up the pitcher that her friends had poured, and I would pour her a drink. But I was so nervous, my hand was shaking so much that it poured all over her dress. Stage 7. Let's skip that. I went back to my heroes at Franklin and Bash on Twitter, and of course Mark Paul Gosselaar is never going to talk to me. So I tweeted at this guy whose name is Reed Diamond. He played Carp on the show. If you don't know him, he's that guy from that one show that one time. And I said, what would you do? What do you have to say about online dating? And he said, Steve, meet people in real life. Epilogue. I'm here tonight, and I'm better online, so I emailed this story to myself, and I'm sure it's much better in my email than it is live. But I'm going to try to be unconventional, and I'd like to meet some people tonight. So if you'd like to meet me, let's not even just females, but anybody. And let's talk and meet the way that Reed Diamond and Franklin and Bash said that we should. Let's be unconventional. Thank you.